Welcome back, everybody, to the Eastern Florida State College YouTube channel stream. My name is Richard Duma, here with my broadcast partner, James Irvin, and we got a women's basketball broadcast for you today. It's a battle of the Titans. The Eastern Florida State College Titans take on, guess who? The St. Petersburg College Titans, because why not? Eastern Florida State College, they're 10-2, 3-1 in conference, coming off a 56-49 victory at Miami-Dade College. Meanwhile, for St. Petersburg College, they're coming off an 86-73 loss to Daytona State on the road. They haven't won a game this year, James, but tell us the storyline behind the St. Petersburg squad.
Well, they haven't won a game this year. You're right. It has not been the year head coach Denisha Davidson has been hoped for. But last game, they got number 13, Mia Lake, back. She scored 21 points and shot 75% from the three-point line. That is going to be a huge battle if the St. Petersburg Titans want to get things done here.
There's Zania Jackson starting off the scoring tonight. Make it 2-0 St. Petersburg.
And that's another thing that Eastern Florida has really got to watch for. There is a lot of size for St. Petersburg here, and that is, I think, going to be one of the keys for St. Pete to get the job done here against Eastern Florida State. They're the underdog. They're going on the road. They're trying to end this 37-game at-home win streak that Eastern Florida State has.
And there's the first step in the road to continuing that win streak for Eastern Florida State College, Jalea O'Neal.
Right there. She does a nice job, O'Neal, getting underneath. But there is a lot of size for St. Petersburg, and that's going to be one of the matchups that they look to use the advantage of, is win underneath. That is going to be the key for Eastern Florida State, and another steal right there for them.
Immediate two-player press that leads to a turnover at half court. Eastern Florida State the other way. Little mid-range shot went off the back of the rim. Rebound to St. Pete. Here comes Heaven Sanders. She's from Ocala, Florida, has scored double digits twice this season. There's Mia Lake, nice pass from her inside. And in through a double team, there's Jackson, tally Mia Lake up for the first assist.
Yeah, and Zania Jackson underneath, the 6'1" forward slender out of Jacksonville, Florida. She is going to be a huge part of the scoring offense tonight for St. Petersburg.
And what a pass from the wing. That's Tamara Elliott setting up Yazaria Adams, the guard-to-guard tandem. Yazaria Adams, one of the better scorers on this East of Florida State College team, averages 10 points per game. Kicked that up to 12.7 in 4 games in conference play so far.
And give credit there to Eastern Florida's defense right there, causing the 5-sec violation, getting the ball back, but that one's misfired.
Miscommunication on the inbounds play. Mia Lake the other way, but missed it. What fast break D by Jalea O'Neal. Never gave up on the play, hustling back, and now it's Baumgart the other way. Eastern Florida State will slow it down after recovering their own turnover.
And that could have been a huge momentum swing right there to break this one open, to capitalize off a St. Petersburg mistake. But great recovery defense from Eastern Florida State right there.
And after stopping a fast break layup, Jalea O'Neal couldn't get her own to go. So now it's 4-4, a little bit over 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Jackson was set up, but stopped by O'Neal. Post touch. Drive inside, Mia Lake wide open for the 8-footer right outside the lane. It's through.
And that's what you get for this offense that Mia Lake brings. She is the sharp shooter on this team, can hit from anywhere on the floor. Long range, mid-range, underneath the net. She is a scorer for St. Petersburg.
Her shot's more pure than her last name, as there's a miss and an offensive rebound. Back out to the corner, Baumgart no good. Third possession now for Eastern Florida State, but there's a jump ball. Arrow will go to EFSC.
And that's what you want to see if you're head coach MJ Baker. You want to see these girls fight underneath, especially with having the size disadvantage. There's a lot more size spread across St. Petersburg than there is Eastern Florida State College. So they're going to have to take advantage and really fight hard and be physical underneath.
A nice pass on the inbound to find a wide open Yazaria Adams for 3. She missed it. St. Petersburg went back with the possession, turned it right back over.
Got it on the double dribble there, and it's kind of a trend we saw in the last game, Richard. I don't know how many total travels were called in the game. I know 6 or 7 of them were called on Eastern Florida State last game. We'll see how MJ Baker and the squad have looked to improve that.
And Ashley Battle just drove to the lane and got stuffed by Zania Jackson. She was right there in the paint waiting for that shot to go up. But Eastern Florida State, they're usually a positive team in terms of the turnover battle. Turnover 15.7 a game, but they forced 27.
Well, I think that probably could be due to how fast of a pace this game can get when you're playing Eastern Florida State College. They are very aggressive when it comes to the basketball. They see the basketball. They're getting their hand in there. They lead the conference in steals, Richard. And so I think with your playing fast-paced like that, trying to set the momentum, which is up-tempo paced offense, I think some of these turnovers can happen just due to the nature of things. You know, you're moving faster, so many different moving parts on the floor that you just lose the ball, but you make up for it when you lead the conference in steals, and I think head coach MJ Baker will take that any day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Absolutely correct, James. And Eastern Florida State College, a more statistically controlled team than St. Petersburg is, so they'll look to take that to their advantage tonight. Nice bounce pass, and it just rolls around the rim and out. Selena Farine had a nice look at the paint, just couldn't get it to roll down.
Well, Selena Farine's shooting about 48% from the field percentage, and you know, sometimes here at the Titan Fieldhouse, the home field advantage isn't just coming from the crowd, it's coming from the nets, because that one, the iron just working against her there a little bit.
She is from Orlando, Florida, where we just had a nice little drive from to call this game tonight. Attended Southeastern Prep, has a season high of 9 points. Jalee O'Neal off the dribble and a nice little pull-up.
That was a nice-looking shot from Jalee O'Neal, and if she can get that mid-range going with the nice step back in there, she could have a night. Already 4 points scored for her.
Just a fundamental jump stop, and now it's St. Pete with their own interior action, won't go. Great defense inside, and there's Karen Nimmo, who checked into the game recently, hustling.
Yeah, Eastern Florida State College highest points per game scorer is Karen Nimmo, this freshman from Augusta, Georgia. She's coming off the bench and doing this, Richard, so a huge part there, and we're glad to see her get up.
And we got to call their last home game against Hillsborough Community College, where Nimmo scored a season-high 26 points.
She was on fire from all over the floor, and look to get her there.
And look at Jalee O'Neal from the mid-range early.
And she seems to have found her sweet spot, Richard. She goes, dribbles in the paint, takes that nice little step back, puts it up. That is bread and butter right there.
James, we're seeing her come along early as there's a rebound. Another miss by St. Pete. EFSC looking to push quickly. Couple of passes off the fast break, and O'Neal with the reverse and the foul.
We might need to get a fire extinguisher in here, Richard. Jalee O'Neal is on fire. She's finding her sweet spot underneath, and especially when you're playing against a team that is a lot bigger than you in terms of size and height, they are going to win underneath. But Jalee O'Neal is fighting the 6'3" senior forward from Orlando, Florida, and that's the person you need to step up here for Eastern Florida State College, especially when you got such a tough matchup underneath in Zia Jackson.
24 and a half minutes a game. That's how much Jalee O'Neal plays, and she's showing that she deserves it. She scored 6 points in a row for the Eastern Florida State College Titans. They're up 10-6 in this media timeout with 4 minutes and 17 to go. We'll be back in a few seconds. Stick around. Back from break now. Welcome everybody to the broadcast. Eastern Florida State College Titans women's basketball game, if you're just joining us, against the St. Petersburg College Titans. It's 10-6 in favor of your Eastern Florida State College Titans. Jalea O'Neal just missed a free throw after an and one. It'll remain a 4-point game. Mia Lake being pressed, double-teamed by Nimmo and Giselle Young. St. Petersburg broke it. Nice defense by Adams, giving her nowhere to go. Off the front iron and a rebound pulled down by Giselle Young. Nice work on the boards, inside and tipped away. It was Ashley Battle trying to get herself an easy look, and Heaven Sanders had something else to say about that.
Yeah, what a swat there from Heaven Sanders, the 5'5" freshman guard out of Ocala, Florida. We talked about a lot of size for this St. Petersburg team, but there's one of the players in Sanders that is really tough physically on defense.
There's an inbound and an offensive foul just trying to get herself free was Sylvia Octahagua, the sophomore from Valencia, Spain. You see an Eastern Florida State being very aggressive with this half-court press early on. It seems to be working, forcing St. Petersburg into some tough shots at the rack like that one. And up and almost in as Zaria Adams on the fast break earns herself a trip to the charity stripe.
And I really like this defensive strategy early from NJ Baker. When you're playing a half-court press like this, it forces the offense to make a decision quicker, which can in turn force unwarranted turnovers. It just speeds up the process of your offense and forces them to play at the pace that you are trying to set. And right now, Eastern Florida State College is dominating the pace of this game, making St. Petersburg play at the speed that they want to play.
And we don't have a time of possession statistic right now like you would see in some football games, but I would probably say it's a fair bet to assume that Eastern Florida State's winning that battle as well.
Absolutely, and you see it right there. It's the double-team trap. Karen Nimmo, the follower, setting up this zone defense here, and Karen Nimmo follows him back onto the half-court press.
Nice pass from Lake inside to Leanna Pabst. Those are her two first points of the ball game.
Yeah, and Pabst is one of the highest scorers on the team for St. Petersburg. Averages 11.8 points per game. She also shoots 30% from the field. So, again, one of the most efficient scorers on the team here for St. Petersburg.
Giselle Young tried to post hook through a double team. She tried to claim it was tipped by somebody on St. Petersburg. Referee says otherwise, and Mia Lake will inbound for them.
Well, you see Jalea O'Neal checking back in. That Eastern Florida State College gets that size back underneath the net.
Nia Santiago checks into the game, and now they're going with more of a full-court press, an even more aggressive look than they started off in. St. Petersburg breaks it with no problem. Sanders to Pabst. Little pull-up off the block, and it goes down.
Well, we might start seeing Leanna Pabst get warmed up in this one. That's 2 straight shots made for Eastern Florida State College, and we are tied up at 10.
Here's Santiago on the wing. Mia Lake on her. Now driving is Nimmo in the paint. And way to be active, Selena Farine in that paint defensively.
Well, and this is what you want to see out of St. Petersburg College. They are out here fighting. They are making it a game on Eastern Florida State College early, especially the underneath defense.
Nia Santiago tried to get a mid-ranger to roll through. Didn't have it, and there's Karen Nimmo being active on defense, staying in the backcourt. Layup a bit too rushed, but off to Octahagua. Inside with 3 defenders in the area. Won't go. Rebound to O'Neal, and she's fouled.
And that was a good sequence there by both teams, really. Good defense originally by St. Petersburg, just the miss-errant pass off of Mia Lake, and then Karen Nimmo comes in, scoops it up, and then at that point it was just a rebound battle. Who got it? And it was Eastern Florida State coming up with it.
Nimmo, 3 ball short. And another offensive board by Jaleel O'Neal. A whistle comes through immediately in a jump ball. Possession arrow St. Pete, but that will give Eastern Florida State an opportunity to receive the very next jump ball. So still a important hustle play.
Well, and this is what you're going to see a lot out of the St. Petersburg College Titans defense is they're going to tighten up here a little bit, and they're going to play tough and be physical underneath. And there's a turnover for us that got two great defenses going at it right now.
Another backcourt steal for Eastern Florida State College. They've been extremely active with their press all quarter, and it's been working. We got about a minute and a half left to go of this first quarter. Jaleel O'Neal turning, spinning, firing off. Off to Farine. Mia Lake pushing quickly in a tie game. Nimmo guarding her. Inside pass to Stevens. And a nice bounce pass from Gabriella Stevens to Selena Farine.
Well, how about this? The crowd or the bench for the St. Petersburg College is working here, getting the momentum back on their side.
Ashley Battle tried a bit of a wing look that wouldn't fall. Out of bounds, but it will be Eastern Florida State College ball. So St. Pete came down with it. They tried to look for a fast break, but they stepped out of bounds before they were able to generate anything at all. So, familiar thing, said this a lot tonight. Eastern Florida State College inbounding from their own basket. It's Battle out to O'Neal on the perimeter. They give her way too much space, and she capitalizes on that. Jaleel O'Neal, the most valuable player in this first quarter.
Yeah, and that reties this game back up at 12, and Jaleel O'Neal kind of doing it all right here for Eastern Florida State. She's getting the rebounds, playing elite defense, scoring the shots.
Score at 12, Zania Santiago with her second steal of the quarter. Off the bench, Baumgart into Battle, makes somebody miss. Swing outside, back to Santiago, mid-range pull-up, no. They've been going to that shot a lot in the first quarter. They really like to find that space between the lane and the line. Another fast break pass ripped away. It was Ashley Battle and a foul.
And here, this is where Eastern Florida State's elite defense is going to play to their favor. They have set the pace of this game early, Richard. They are playing fast. They're going to be playing their style of basketball, which is for St. Petersburg to kind of match that. They're trying to move fast, and when you're going to move fast against the number 23rd ranked team, these mistakes like this are going to happen, especially when they're as good at stealing the ball as they are. If you're St. Petersburg with a tie game, how it is almost into the second quarter, you want to look to slow this game back down and get it to your pace of basketball. Remember, you are on the road here. You are the underdog, but you have played a really, really good basketball game and are tied on the road with 8 seconds left after, of course, the free throws were made by Karen Nimmo. But you are in a very, very good spot here. You don't want to give it away by trying to get it all in one quarter. There's a lot of basketball to be played here. Get it back to your pace of basketball.
3 seconds in the first quarter. Clock winding down. Air ball to end the first quarter. A double team to trap that final shot. So at the end of the first quarter, it's 14-12 in favor of your Eastern Florida State College Titans in a battle of the Titans over St. Petersburg College. We'll be back in the second quarter. My name is Richard Duma, here with my broadcast partner, James Irvin. Before break, I'd like to take this quick opportunity to give a huge thank you to not only the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting for providing us this opportunity to call this game tonight, but also to Eastern Florida State College for letting us hop on this microphone and be able to deliver this broadcast to you guys. We are very blessed and grateful to be in the position that we are, and it wouldn't be possible without the people here at Eastern Florida State College and the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, especially our program director, Gus Ramsey, and Professor Christine Wynn. So we thank you all for tuning in right here. Be sure to check back as the second quarter begins in about a minute. Eastern Florida State College 14, St. Petersburg College 12. Guess what? Not a long break at all. Second quarter's here already. 2-point game. Eastern Florida State College Titans ahead of the St. Petersburg College Titans by 2. Gonna make that joke probably way too many times tonight. Let's get to the action. Santiago inside to Baumgart. Good defense by Jackson.
Yeah, you'll definitely be remembering the Titans before this night's over.
Zania Jackson's played incredible defense so far tonight, has stopped a lot of opportunities in the lane. A little 15-footer on the corner by Callie Harris that won't fall, and a fast break attempt by Tamara Elliott. Too far ahead of her intended target. Not a bad idea, though. St. Petersburg ball.
And let's give a lot of credit to St. Petersburg defense. They come in 0-13, 0-5 in conference play, but their defense has really stepped up tonight against Eastern Florida State College, who averages 75 points per game as a team.
And St. Petersburg, they averaged 60 points per game, but they scored 73 in their first and only game of the season with Mia Lake on the roster. 3 ball. Not quite. Tamara Elliott with the board. Nice bouncer to Santiago. Beautiful execution on that fast break. They don't teach it better than that.
No, they do not. This offense, when they are in sync and the chemistry is rolling, you get poetry in motion like you see there. Fantastic transition basketball from MJ Baker and company.
And Nia Santiago has really earned herself some more playing time in this game, as Jackson requires a double team to stop, still gets the give and go to fall. She was guarded by 2 players, found a wide open teammate. Eastern Florida State tried to rotate, and they paid for it.
And Zania Jackson has definitely been one of the more valuable players tonight for St. Petersburg. Does it all well underneath, is scoring the points too, and she's just been causing all sorts of problems for Eastern Florida State tonight.
She's turned a lot of those 3-foot looks that Eastern Florida State College would have into more 9- and 10-foot looks, and even those 7 feet can make all the more of a difference as to A, whether the ball drops or not, and B, getting the rebound. Battle, that was tipped by Mia Lake. Good defensive play to prevent a wide open 3 by Tamara Elliott potentially, but Eastern Florida State College ball once more. Battle to inbound. Outside, almost stolen by Sanders. Santiago, Battle in the corner, gets it to fall.
Well, that's one thing we really haven't seen from Eastern Florida State College tonight, but they lead the conference in 3-point percentage, and they really have made money 3-pointers tonight here. Got to give credit to St. Petersburg there, but Ashley Battles seems to open up the scoring from downtown.
A bit of a quick stoppage in the play. We get a couple of substitutions now. If I can read those numbers, it's Claudio Piero Jimenez in for Eastern Florida State College. They are up 19-14, a 5-point game with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And look for Eastern Florida to start opening up this long-range scoring. They've seen a lot of it in the first quarter of them trying to go underneath, and it's been working with July O'Neal. But if they can start getting this long-distance scoring open, can really open up the offense more underneath for O'Neal and company to cook.
And what a block by Santiago. You've seen a couple steals, and now a pack. 3-ball and rolls away. What a highlight that would have been if Piero Jimenez was able to convert. Still a wide open look and only her first of the day. I'm sure she'll have plenty others. Now St. Pete inside from the triple team. For the triple, no. Mia Lake chases down the offensive rebound. Nice hustle by her. She's getting pressed up on by Ashley Battle. Corner 3, long. Jimenez gets the board, trapped in the corner, finds Santiago ahead. Bounce pass to O'Neal. Baumgart. Jimenez now off the dribble. No. Smacked by Jackson to her teammate, Nikki Stanich.
And that's a really good sequence there from Eastern Florida State. You may have not come up with the basket, but the ball movement there was incredible, and they were finding a lot of open shots. St. Petersburg is making it really tough to get to the basket, though.
I like this play from St. Pete, but Pabst could not get it to fall over. Battle, rebound Harris, back outside. No, rebound Santiago. Steals, blocks, and rebounds for Nia Santiago all night. She's been arguably the best hustler on this squad. Baumgart into O'Neal, in traffic, in between two defenders, and counter up for 2 points.
Yeah, a chance at a three-point possession here again. 0 for 1 from the free throw line tonight. She hit 75% from the line this season, but man, oh man, she is getting effort. July O'Neal is getting beat up down there, Richard. Every time she's going up, she is hitting the floor hard, but she just keeps on driving, keeps finding lanes to get to the net, and man, she is really working hard tonight for Eastern Florida State.
The product from Colonial High School. She's studying psychology right now at Eastern Florida State College, really helping her get in the heads of her opponents who try to stop her at the rack.
Yeah, and O'Neal's favorite movie is Iron Man, the original Iron Man, and she could use a suit of armor like that to protect her from some of these falls because this hardwood is pretty hard, Richard. I got it.
Maybe we can call up Tony Stark and help us out a little bit. Mia Lake. Over at the rack was Selena Farine, but even better defense by Amanda Baumgart. Battle quickly. Azaria Adams, too much space, but won't fall. Tipped out of bounds by Karen Nimmo. She was in a battle for the board. So 22 double-digit lead for Eastern Florida State. It was tied at the end of the first quarter. Steal by Nimmo, but she stepped out of bounds. That would have been a corner three. You know how much she loves to take those.
Yes, she does, but that just shows you the kind of effort that these girls are putting in on the defensive side. Even just a simple inbound pass, the Eastern Florida State College Titans are making difficult on St. Petersburg.
Well, you're not really going to score too often when you don't pass the half-court line, but they did it right there. Sanders inside. Nice little move on Baumgart, but a pass off of the foot of Giselle Young. Kickball violation. It'll stay over here. Just a reminder, St. Petersburg wearing blue going from right to left on your screen. The Eastern Florida State College Titans wearing white with blue stripes heading left to right. Pabst receives the inbound. Inside with the left hand, too strong. Caught a pass while she was out of bounds in the gray area outside of the court. EFSC ball.
And Eastern Florida doing a really nice job at defending underneath the net. They are making it hard to score from underneath. As St. Petersburg is only shooting 27% from three as a team, so I like the strategy here, defending the net, defending underneath, forcing St. Petersburg to score from long distance.
A deep three-pointer there by Baumgart. Did not make contact with anything, just went out of bounds to St. Pete. Lake has a few more seconds to cross, gets it up to Sanders. Step back. Would have been clean, but instead off to Young. Fast break play. Baumgart up and under. There's that patience that you love to see when you're attempting to get easy layups on the break. Make it a double-digit lead, the first of the night for your Eastern Florida State College Titans. They're up by 24, or up 24 to 14, excuse me.
And what a move right there was from Amanda Baumgart underneath, the nice little faker out action, then put it on the glass. And when the Titans, Eastern Florida State, I should say, when the Eastern Florida State gets moving like this, the up tempo is working, they can be really, really hard to slow down, especially when the momentum is flowing, the game is getting fast-paced. They're playing that backcourt defense. They're not really creating possessions for themselves, stealing balls, it's just been a really, really well-played game from Eastern Florida State and St. Petersburg, too. You know, listen, their record isn't everything on the story. Record is not everything when it comes to sports. And with Mia Lake in here, this defense for St. Petersburg is playing really, really well tonight. They've kind of forced Eastern Florida State to adjust their game plan a little bit. They tried in the first quarter to get the underneath stuff working, and St. Petersburg was defending it well. Now that Eastern Florida's kind of opened up the shooting a little bit, they're starting to take more shots from the mid-range, starting to take more three shots. That's when the scoring, and they have really started to pull away.
Not too much three-point shooting in this game. You're seeing a lot more interior play than Eastern Florida State showed against Hillsborough Community College. They were really working the perimeter in that last home game, and now this time around hosting St. Petersburg, they're really looking more in the paint and in that mid-range area, using some of those screens against the matchup defense instead of, you know, maybe some of that zone that they saw from Hillsborough instead.
And I think that this is a good thing for Eastern Florida State, too, because they're proving they can win in multiple different assets of the way. They can win from scoring from downtown. They can win playing good defense and low scoring and scoring underneath. And that's what great teams do. Great teams find ways to win no matter what the game is. You take the Kansas City Chiefs, for example. Their games are not perfect when you watch them, but they find ways to win no matter what that is because they are a great team. And Eastern Florida State College can beat you in many different ways.
Now here's a team that can do very many great things. There's Paps to Sanders. Inside to Jackson, she's fouled and will attempt a couple of free throws. Zania Jackson heading to the free throw line. The product from Jacksonville, went to Andrew Jackson High School, has a season high of 16 points. She's done that twice this season. And with playing the center position, you know you are probably going to get fouled a lot when going up for shots. And she is effective from the free throw line, shooting 72%. That is the second highest on St. Petersburg. Missed the second one, however. It was off to Bumgart, and now it's Adams.
I'll take the announcer's jinx blame for me. That one's on me.
No problem. A nice hook from the right side. Post fundamentals by Giselle Young. Same knee, same hand, off the glass.
And really, that's what you want to see from the 6'1 freshman from Chicago, Illinois. She actually transferred from Loyola University, so bringing some of that experience down to Florida with her.
Izaria Adams just popped up like Casper the Ghost out of nowhere to steal that ball, but now she travels inside, trying to get around Zania Jackson around the glass, and it's St. Petersburg College basketball. Wish I could say Titans more for you guys, but that wouldn't even tell you who has possession. Sanders, still a light press. Two-player press exhibited by Eastern Florida State. Now they got numbers. Lake off the dribble. Over to the corner is Pabst, up and under. Hits the rim one time and falls out.
And there goes Eastern Florida State once again playing excellent defense underneath. The duo of Giselle Young and July O'Neill, fantastic underneath defense. And St. Petersburg got some of that as well.
And that pass was stolen by Jackson, tipped to a teammate. Pabst there fouled by Julie O'Neill, trying to hand the ball off to her teammate Heaven Sanders. That foul will be on Julie O'Neill. And as you mentioned earlier about Eastern Florida State College winning in multiple ways, we saw Karen Nimmo's three-point barrage against Hillsborough Community College, and now we're seeing the interior play of Julie O'Neill this game, and both games still the same result. Heaven Sanders with the corner three. Her heel got on that gray. Another turnover in possession.
Well, and it can be hard sometimes. This is a very cool colored court. I love the way Eastern Florida State has it designed, but just that slight little color difference, it can be hard to tell when you're in the moment of battle. We've seen that a few times now from both teams where just a heel or toe out of bounds costed their team a possession.
There's an offensive foul on Santiago. Good job by St. Petersburg, Leanna Paps, to draw the foul as she was playing defense inside. But I got a little basketball story one time. I actually used to play in this rec league in basketball where the floor was carpet. It wasn't even court, it was carpet. And you really could not tell the difference between inbounds and out of bounds. There was about 4 seconds left. We were down by 2. I had the ball. I was trying to look for a teammate, and I stepped out of bounds as we were down 1. As there was an open look by Harmony Randolph. Just couldn't get it to go.
Trying to draw a charge foul, and you more concerned with the foul or the rug burn?
Definitely. Well, it wasn't a foul. I stepped out of bounds and turned it over. Definitely the turnover. I was very, very annoyed that I had basically just sold the game for my team, but that's not what anybody's doing here tonight. They're all way better than I was. As 2 players get tangled up over by half court. They were Gabriella Stevens and Giselle Young. The possession arrow will go to Eastern Florida State.
And that just kind of shows you how physical this basketball game has been here tonight. Both of these teams are out there fighting. I mean, when you say Ashley battle, these teams are battling out there, and it has not been an easy one. These 2 teams are very physical underneath, and it is showing here tonight. It has been a fun one to watch.
And Gabriella Stevens, she actually came from Davison High School over in the Flint, Michigan area. The basketball over there is very physical, so you have to know how to fight for the ball if you want to play in those conferences. Jalee O'Neal out to battle. Woo! Makes a defender miss, puts it up and no, but Jalee O'Neal with the good awareness. Santiago barely inside the 3-point line, long. And now a 4th offensive possession for Eastern Florida State. Ashley Battle will set it up again. 28-15, 13-point game with a minute and a half before both teams will enter the tunnels. For her first 3, Karen Nimmo, no, but she was fouled in the corner and will shoot 3 free throws. That was Pap's 2nd foul of the night.
Well, and that's what you get when you are 4th in the rebounds in the conference. And that basketball kind of playing pinball there a little bit, bouncing off a couple of different players for both teams. And ultimately, it's Eastern Florida State that comes up with it. But these second chance possessions and second chance points just wear out the defense, making things very easy for Eastern Florida State to go in and score. Easier when the defense is tired. After 3 20-second possessions on defense and to get a 4th rebound like that, it doesn't surprise me that a foul was called there, as you're just trying to slow the game back down if you're St. Petersburg.
They are, James, and it's demoralizing, especially when you're losing by 13 the way you are. Game's not over, but you definitely don't want to give up multiple possessions in a row. Statistically, Eastern Florida State came in with the advantage. They have a 7.8 positive rebounding margin as Karen Nimmo forces yet another turnover for Eastern Florida State today. But the rebounding margin on the St. Petersburg side is minus 0.3. So Eastern Florida State did come in tonight the better rebounding team. And we're seeing the product of that fact right now. Some substitutions right now, some movement on the bench before we get play underway again. A minute left in the second quarter. Santiago with a hesitation that leads to a spin, and it's too filthy.
Oh, man, Nia Santiago, have yourself a game. She's doing all the little things right, Richard. The things that don't show up in the scoreboard. She's picking up screens. She's creating mismatches. She's getting in the lanes of defenders, getting steals. And now she gets some points there to reward herself for the effort. And, I mean, that move was disgusting right there.
And Eastern Florida State just forced another turnover with some sort of pseudo press. They were expecting the press, didn't get it, and it forced a backcourt violation. A little workaround, Harlem Globetrotters style. This is the start to their plays that you see from them a lot. Nimmo, another three-pointer, short. Open look from the right wing. It was rebounded by Mia Lake now. Santiago pressed up on her. 14 seconds left in the half. Lake out to Randolph. Harmony Randolph. Good defense inside by Nimmo. O'Neal had it tipped. 7 seconds. Battle. Pushing it. Working against the clock. Nimmo from mid-range. Same spot as last time, no good. Rebound was down to Kelly Harris. And that will officially put an end to the first half of action on the Eastern Florida State College YouTube channel. Eastern Florida State College Titans are up 31 to St. Petersburg College's 15. A battle of the Titans here tonight. And James, in that first half, what did you see from Eastern Florida State that impressed you, and why are they up by 16 points?
Well, they're up by 16 points because they were working the inside and underneath us, the offense early. We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast how St. Petersburg actually is a lot of size advantage on this team, and so underneath could potentially be the way that they look to exploit the matchup. And Eastern Florida State College was like, all right, bet. And they took the matchup right to him. July O'Neal doing it all from underneath. She's getting the rebound. She has 12 or 13 points here in that first half tonight. 6 or 7 rebounds. She's picking up fouls. She's playing defense. July O'Neal is doing a fantastic job, as well as Giselle Young underneath. Really, it's been the forwards for Eastern Florida State College there in that first half that really worked well against St. Petersburg. They exploited the matchup that St. Petersburg thought they had going in, and they did it better. And they came out, they were firing, they were scoring better shots, and then physically on defense, they matched the tone that St. Petersburg had, and they got out to that quick lead. They could set the pace of the basketball that they want to play, and that MJ Baker is known for playing, that up-tempo, backcourt press, aggressive style of basketball, and it's been working here tonight, and that's why you see the 31-15 lead. I could maybe now see in the second half expect for the long-distance scoring opportunities to start opening up for the Titans. You kind of saw it there from Nimmo taking a little more shots from downtown. You had Piero Jimenez taking shots from downtown. So with the press and the open underneath stuff working, that forced St. Petersburg to play defense underneath. We know how good this team is from shooting from downtown. The three-pointers are going to start raining, and when it rains, it pours, and it could start pouring three-pointers here now that they've set up their underneath offense.
And if Eastern Florida State starts knocking down their threes in the second half, like you just mentioned, James, it should be dangerous territory for the St. Petersburg College Titans, who scored 15 points in the first half off of an incredible press game plan put in by head coach MJ Baker with Eastern Florida State. And this is the statistic that I've been waiting on, a thank you over there for the stat page. But Jaleel O'Neal had 13 points in the first half, only 2 less than St. Petersburg did. So just incredible play overall in the first. But from the Eastern Florida State College YouTube channel in this Battle of the Titans, this is my broadcast partner, James Irvin. I'm Richard Duma. Thank you all for tuning in for the first half. Make sure to come back around in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to have a second half battle of action for you in this women's basketball matchup between Eastern Florida State College and St. Petersburg College. Once again, 31-15. Thank you to the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting and Eastern Florida State College for letting us call this game. We'll be back after the break. See y'all in about 10.
Make sure
Welcome back, everybody, to the Eastern Florida State College Titans YouTube channel stream. We got the second half of a women's basketball game coming up for you guys in a short little bit. Your EFSC Titans are currently leading 31-15 over the St. Petersburg College Titans. James, tell us some things about that first half for those of you that are just tuning in.
Well, I really think that the first quarter to second quarter defensive adjustment made by head coach MJ Baker was the story in this one. In the first quarter, Richard, it was 12-12, and you're thinking, hey, we got a bit of a game here. St. Petersburg kind of came out, maybe surprising Eastern Florida State College a little bit, but they came out swinging, and then the defensive adjustment made. They only scored 3 points all second quarter, so the first to second quarter defensive adjustment was fantastic by head coach MJ Baker.
Yes, it was, and that is why Eastern Florida State College had one of their best, if not the best, defensive quarter of this entire season. Only giving up 3 points in a 10-minute frame is a insane level of defensive play. There's a rebound by Adams. You're already seeing good defense in the second half out of MJ Baker's team. 1 possession for St. Petersburg and 1 stop. Battle, wide open, top of the key, too long. Offensive rebound was not recovered, but it was tipped away by St. Petersburg out of bounds. Mia Lake tried to run it down. Zaria Adams on the inbound. Inside to Baumgart, but an offensive foul trying to free up Tamara Elliott. And now it's St. Pete's ball before EFSC got the chance to get it in.
Well, if you are St. Petersburg right here coming into this second half of action, you want to start just like how you started the very beginning of this game and come out swinging against Eastern Florida State College. They're in complete control of this game right now, and you got to start doing something different offensively to get some momentum back in on your side. Attack the underneath, keep playing your defense that you're playing.
Stanich was no good from beyond the arc, but then Tamara Elliott just comes searing in on the fast break. Unexpectedly, it seemed like, by St. Pete, and they fouled her.
That'll send Tamara Elliott to the free throw line. Hasn't made that trip tonight for Eastern Florida State.
And Tamara Elliott, pretty similar to us, aspires to become a college football or women's basketball broadcaster after graduating. She is in school for communication, scored a career-high 12 points last game at Miami-Dade.
And she was crucial in getting that all-important conference win over Miami-Dade that actually puts the Titans, EFSC, that is, in second place in the Citrus Conference behind Florida Southwestern, MJ Baker's alma mater.
And there's Nikki Stanich, the second three-pointer of this game, and the very first for St. Pete. Kick out to the corner as there's an offensive foul. You hear the St. Petersburg bench get loud, as they've now forced the turnovers coming out of the gates.
Well, and this is what you want to see if you're St. Petersburg. Come out of this second half, that's like you did. Start fast. You got to capitalize on these opportunities now, being down so much. There is a lot of time left in this game, but you want to get these shots and momentum going here in the third quarter early.
And you love that press break by Denisha Davidson. Already a different and more composed look in the beginning of their possession. A wide open look was generated for Stanich, but she missed it out of bounds to Eastern Florida State.
And that's what I want to see more out of St. Petersburg on offense. You know the type of defense you're facing against Eastern Florida State. You want to slow this game back down when you get the ball across half court and start moving it around some more to generate some more space for your offense.
Here's Jalee O'Neal, the story of the first half for Eastern Florida State College. She had 13 points in the first, that first attempt short. And now she'll have to play some defense. Sania Jackson with a nice pass. Nikki Stanich.
And how about Stanich, the sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, from down under, and she can score from down under as well. Here comes St. Petersburg, a little momentum down.
From Melbourne, Australia to Melbourne, Florida here tonight. can score in both places, both hemispheres of this planet that we call Earth. Tamara Elliott hits that said Earth after a layup attempt. Zania Jackson was there. Zania Jackson did not sit for 1 second in that first half. Played every single moment for the St. Petersburg College Titans. That's some impressive stamina.
Well, when you are an anchor on this team like Zania Jackson is, she is an anchor offensively, she's an anchor defensively. She really is the key to getting St. Petersburg back on track. When she is on the floor, the team just has a different feel. She brings that physical presence with her, and she is one of the best defenders underneath for St. Petersburg.
And Zania Jackson is averaging 3 blocks per game, easily the most out of any player who will step on the court tonight. Sorry, continue.
Well, that's what you need underneath on defense as well, especially when you're only scoring 59.4 points per game. The offense hasn't really been there for St. Petersburg, and how they win games is to keep their opponents from scoring, and Zania Jackson is one major factor in doing so.
Tamara Elliott got a hand on that press. Sanders Jackson back to Stanich, and there's a double team. Ashley Battle with the steal. On the fast break, Izaria Adams in between traffic.
Yeah, there's Adams there. Had a bit of a slow first half than what we're normally seeing. She only scored 2 points in that first half, so it's good, nice to see her come back in the second half and answer with a score already.
Sanders in between 3 shooters roll.
And that is a nice shot there for St. Petersburg, rolling around the iron, going around the world a bit, and it falls. And if they can keep scoring like this, putting together a couple of scoring runs, we could see them get back in this game. But July O'Neal has other plans.
Jalee O'Neal off the ball is so smart in the way that she cuts to the basket. Found an open hole, and her teammate found her. Nothing but Jalee O'Neal in the basket, and after scoring 2 points, she gives Eastern Florida State College an opportunity at another bucket by drawing that charge.
She was the story in the first half, and she's looking to continue that trend and dominate here in the second half. Already got some points up. She already has some boards off the glass. July O'Neal, what an important piece to this Eastern Florida State College team.
She's been active, she's been hustling, she's been scoring, defending, all of the things that they need Jalee O'Neal to do on the basketball court tonight. She's contributed, and look, she draws over that gravity, that double team to open up a pass, but a travel before the shot by Giselle Young. If it wasn't a travel, some other form of turnover.
Well, you got to give credit to Heaven Sanders there on the block of the shot. O'Neal was going up to put it, to try and score again, and Sanders was right there forcing the turnover.
Lake on the handoff to Sanders, just coming off of that up motion. Unfortunately, could not hang on to possession very closely and got called for a travel. Adams, almost stolen by Mia Lake.
Coming out of nowhere right there. It was Mia Lake trying to get a hand on that one.
Pressure up on Elliott and an inside pass to an and one. Give it to Giselle Young that time. Another offensive foul. I misread the signal, my apologies. As there's a little bit of frustration exhibited by her, understandably so. A couple of baskets taken away in a row for Young inside.
Well, and this is where if you're St. Petersburg, you want to capitalize on the mistakes that are being made by Eastern Florida State College. They are giving you free possessions. You got to start capitalizing on them and feed Stanek. You might start doing it.
And Stanek in the second half has been just ripping them away from downtown. That's her second or maybe even third three-pointer in the second half, and it's a 13-point game with a little bit under 5 minutes. Jaleel O'Neal the other way, won't fall off to Sanders. Potential numbers for St. Pete, they'll slow it down instead. In the corner, travel before the pass out to Sanders. They had some momentum going. They could have cut it back to 11 or 10 with a basket, but they give it right back up. So 37-24, a 13-point lead for the Eastern Florida State College Titans. How can they stop this little mini perimeter three-point barrage that St. Petersburg's been on in this third quarter?
Well, I think you got to start maybe letting some lanes open up a little bit for St. Petersburg. They are getting hot from scoring from downtown, and they aren't afraid to start taking those shots, especially with being in the deficit that they are. I think you know how good you are at scoring three-pointers. I think that offense is going to start to come. I think Eastern Florida State College is going to be able to generate more points, but St. Petersburg defense is playing really, really well right now. I think you just got to keep getting the ball, keep getting the rebounds, trust your offense, trust your players out there, and Eastern Florida State will be able to close things out. But got to really give credit to St. Petersburg here, coming in winless on the season. Hasn't necessarily been the season that they had hoped for, but either way, they have come out and are playing some fight. I mean, this is a ranked opponent here, Richard, Eastern Florida State College, and they are kind of giving them some problems. Eastern Florida State does have a double-digit lead on them, but they are fighting. They are not making things easy from one Titans team to another.
And Nikki Stanich, she averages 6.8 points per game this season, but she's dropped 12 points per game in her last 4. A season high of 18 points against Hillsborough Community College, one of the conference opponents that Eastern Florida State has seen this season so far. As Santiago will start us off, and Ashley Battle will bring up this possession out of the timeout. About 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Santiago waiting for a play to develop. Spins around, and an and one. A couple of offensive fouls in a row for Eastern Florida State College before the timeout. This time they give them the bucket.
And Nia Santiago is having a really, really well-played game. She's a graduate student from Melbourne, Florida. She's hitting 64% from the free throw line. She's been doing everything right that doesn't show up on the stat board. She's setting the screens. She's playing really good defense. She's hustling out when she's on the hardwood. And offensively, she is not scared to go up to the basket. She's been a very physical player for Eastern Florida State College. And Nia Santiago and July O'Neill, to me, Richard, are the players of the game right now.
Santiago has been incredible so far. Both of them have, James. But Santiago, a transfer from Long Island University, came back home to play for Eastern Florida State College. A computer science major. She can design applications like she can design extra possessions on defense. And there's a block by Julie O'Neill on Gabriella Stevens inside. How about O'Neill on defense? A little bit too fast-paced as Azaria Adams turns it over. Paps the other direction. Left-handed underhand scoop on the fast break. Paps just put in some buckets for St. Petersburg College.
And Richard, what has been so impressive throughout this run for St. Petersburg is Zania Jackson has been getting a bit of a rest. She hasn't been on the floor for the Titans of St. Petersburg on this run that they're going, and it's been working. They have found something here.
Sometimes unexpected wrinkles can do a lot for you as Mia Lake draws the third offensive foul for St. Petersburg College in this second half already. Last time they called it in the restricted area, this time outside of it.
And speaking of Zania Jackson, she is coming back in, so they get their 6'1" forward center back in on the floor for St. Petersburg, and they have cut into this lead a little bit of Eastern Florida State College. They've been doing a nice job of capitalizing on their opportunities, Richard, and you know, to me, honestly, they haven't been forcing the shots. It kind of felt like early they were forcing a lot of shots because they felt like they were down. Seems like they're waiting for their opportunities, taking the smart shots rather than forcing them.
And what they really did, James, is there's a foul in a strong drive to the rack by Pabst, who will shoot a couple of free throws. But, James, you're absolutely correct. The game plan changes by Denisha Davidson with St. Petersburg College have been impressive. They came out of the second half and they figured out how to break that press that hounded them so much during the first half, and especially that second quarter where they couldn't seem to get anything going. Literally just getting the ball past the half-court line makes all the difference. When you're actually able to get set up and deliver to your playmakers like Nikki Stanich for three-pointers in this second half, that's when things start to roll a lot better for you.
Well, especially when you only have 30 seconds on the shot clock and you're using 15 of those seconds to just get the ball across the half-court line. And an issue that has kind of haunted Eastern Florida State College this season, a travel is called, getting possession right back to St. Petersburg.
And the referees are not afraid to call travels. We've seen it the past couple of games that we've been in Titan Fieldhouse, and those are starting to come back. So just a little bit more breathing, inhaling, exhaling, and attention to detail can really stop some of those unforced turnovers. But even so, what a game from Nia Santiago, even with that travel. That does not at all put down her efforts on the night. Sanders, outside, money! Off the two-player game from Zania Jackson, you got to pick your poison. They gave up 3 points that time.
Well, and right there, that is how the far-range, long-distance scoring has opened up for St. Petersburg. Zania Jackson draws a crowd when she is on the floor, and that opens up the long distance. It's only a 10-point game, Richard, here at Titan Fieldhouse.
You hear the crowd getting louder as Lake steals one from Octahogla, trying to find Nimmo in the corner. Fast break pass by Lake, finds her teammate.
Wow, that is excellent anticipation pass right there by Mia Lake. I didn't know if they were going to get there, if that one was going to go out of bounds, but the connection is there, and tough fall for Zania Jackson. Possession will remain with St. Petersburg, but that 37-game home win streak, Richard, might be starting putting a little bit of pressure on it. This game is not over, but the St. Petersburg College Titans have fought back here in this third quarter.
They have. It's 42-30 with 2.5 minutes in the third quarter. 10-point game. St. Petersburg could make it single digits if a bucket falls here. Does not. It's out to Baumgart instead.
Well, and right here, if you're Eastern Florida State College, you want to slow this game down right now. The clock is your friend. You have been a bit of a scoring drought. Get some points here. Get the easy shot. And thank you. That is what you want to see there from Izaria Adams. Put a little momentum on the side. Get those points back. Get the momentum back down to Eastern Florida State College.
How you like that spin, James?
I like it a lot.
Izaria Adams, so did the backboard. Allowed that ball to go in for 2 points. Jalee O'Neal, not Adams with the steal, all the way to the rack and draws another foul. So Jalee O'Neal has had her fair share of appearances to the free throw line tonight, and she will tack on another.
It is her third shot taken from the charity stripe here tonight. She's 1 for 2. But that's what I mean, Richard, right there. You slowed the game down. You got the easy shot, took your nice, easy layup, and then you force a turnover back on the other side. And this is how the game of basketball worked. It's a game of runs right here. St. Petersburg had their run. It's now on Eastern Florida State College to keep this run going and to extend it.
Unfortunately, neither free throw went down for O'Neal, so it will remain a 12-point game. Sanders, good defense by Elliott up top, but a foul off the ball closer to the paint. That's going to go on Eastern Florida State College, a push.
It is July O'Neal they call that on, and she's got to be careful here, Richard. Already a couple of fouls picked up here in this third quarter on O'Neal.
Her second foul of the game. You need 5 to foul out, so good for O'Neal. She's not really in danger of that yet, but you do have to watch that number, especially with how valuable she's been.
Well, especially underneath, and it seems like that is how this game is going to be won, underneath the net and in the paint. And Eastern Florida State College has a much better chance of winning that battle with July O'Neal on the floor. And head coach MJ Baker having a conversation with the referee.
And Leanna Pabst, who comes off the bench for this St. Petersburg team, does lead them in points with 11.8. Also plays 25.5 minutes a night, so plays the most, scores the most, and is brought off as a wrinkle after the game starts.
Well, that is a big free throw knocked down there by Pabst. It makes it a single-digit game here.
Pabst trying to play tight defense on Elliott, right near the wing. Baumgart, Adams tried to cut on Mia Lake, nothing there. O'Neal, she can drive, and gets back to the free throw line. A little frustrated she wasn't able to get the and one, but still a good job to earn chances at a couple more.
Yeah, Pabst picks up her 4th foul here in this 3rd quarter, so she will have to go sit down because she is in danger of fouling out here. And Pabst, again, one of the leading scorers here for St. Petersburg College, and again, that could be trouble. 11.8 points per game. She averages 2 rebounds a game, 2 assists per game. She is an effective free throw shooter as well. And so Leanna Pabst having to sit down for a few minutes because she is in a little bit of foul trouble could be a huge matchup exploit that head coach MJ Baker looks to exploit.
And we'll see about that if we get to it. 44-31, 13-point game. We got 1-minute warning on this 3rd quarter. Eastern Florida State coming back in some of that press that has helped them out, especially in the first half. Heaven Sanders, over 2 defenders, no. Good defense by Adams and Battle. Battle finds Adams, swung to Baumgart, top of the key. Adams, swing back to Battle. O'Neal on the right side, wide open, 3-ball, cans it. Don't give Tamara Elliott that much space.
She will make you pay if you do, and man, how badly did Eastern Florida State need that one? A huge shot to extend their lead even more right before this 4th quarter.
A momentum stopper, and right before the quarter, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. Ashley Battle with the steal, turned back over on the other end, but not with enough time for St. Petersburg to make anything with it. So, with 1 more quarter, only 10 more minutes to play, the Eastern Florida State College Titans sitting at 10-2 right now, up 47-31, a 16-point deficit over the 0-13 St. Petersburg College Titans. And I got to tell you what, this team has looked so much better with Mia Lake in the lineup. They only lost by 13 points in their first game with Mia, and now at the end of 3, it's 16-point deficit with 10 minutes to go. James, 10 minutes left to go. If you are MJ Baker with this Eastern Florida State College Titans right now, you know that Leanna Pabst has 4 fouls for St. Petersburg. How are you trying to take advantage of that to hold on?
Well, Leanna Pabst is the top scorer on this St. Petersburg College team. So if I'm MJ Baker, I know they have their top scorer out. That means some other girls are going to have to step up when it comes to the scoring department. So for me, I am keeping this press defense going, and I am putting my pedal to the metal. I'm keeping my foot on the gas because the break defense, the backcourt press defense has been giving them problems all night. And with Leanna Pabst probably not getting as many minutes as St. Petersburg would like due to her being in foul trouble, I think you keep the press defense going. I don't think you necessarily need to be perfect on offense that way with how much of a lead you've built. If you let your defense go in, win the battle of this game, close it out, I think you'll be just fine. So if I'm head coach MJ Baker, I am keeping that backcourt press going, especially when their top offensive player is out.
And now we have arrived at the 4th quarter, and James, we will see if that game plan is what they decide to go with. Up by 16 points, 47-31. Eastern Florida State College with the ball. Jalea O'Neal, Izaria Adams finds some space off the front of the rim, gathers her own miss, and puts it right back up. 2 points of damage done by Izaria Adams.
And if you can do that every possession for Eastern Florida State College, or most of your possessions, you are going to walk out of here with a win. You don't need to get too cute on offense. Make the simple shots and close this game out. Extend the home winning streak to 38.
Wow, what a pass from Baumgart off the fast break, and Tamara Elliott was right there. A 4-point swing immediately in the first 40 seconds in the fourth quarter of action. A 20-point lead for your Eastern Florida State College Titans. They're up by 20 on the other Titans from St. Petersburg. I'm Richard Duma here with my broadcast partner James Irvin. We'll be right back after a 60-second break. Thank you all for hanging back with us. We're back on the Eastern Florida State College Titans YouTube channel. We've said this like 10,000 times, but they're also playing the Titans, the St. Petersburg College Titans. It's 51-31, 20-point game with 9 minutes and 19 seconds to go. And there's the press defense that almost forced another turnover, but they back off a little bit. Jalea O'Neal almost got in the way of that pass, and now it's Pabst. Elliott really aggressive. Mia Lake, 3-ball, unable to convert. Elliott with the rebound. She's been hustling lately.
You know, Richard, I wonder how many Titans are across the NJCAA Division I women's basketball. You see Tigers a lot everywhere. It doesn't matter which sport you get, you're going to get a Tigers, maybe 2 of them in a league. But this is the first time we've got a battle of the Titans here, Titans versus Tysons, especially when they're in the same conference as the Citrus Conference. Wonder if that crossed their mind when, thinking of joining these conferences.
Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, maybe they just don't care. Either way, it's amazing entertainment for us who get to make stupid dad jokes about it for the broadcast.
And it's super entertaining when you get to watch a player as talented as Jalea O'Neal, who can do it both on offense and defensively, as you saw there with the SWAT, creating the scoring possession for Eastern Florida State.
So a couple of easy layups on back-to-back possessions for the Eastern Florida State College Titans now, as there's another timeout. Amanda Baumgart had the first one. Yazaria Adams had the second. I want to take a second just to talk about Amanda Baumgart. The 6'1" freshman forward from Riga, Latvia, one of the international players on Eastern Florida State. Her Euro Championship team made the quarterfinals, and she also hit a huge three-pointer late in the fourth at Miami-Dade College in their last win. Averaging 6.5 points per game on the season. James, what kind of production has Baumgart had tonight?
Baumgart has done a pretty good job tonight as well. Again, a lot of these players for Eastern Florida State College, Baumgart going into the first half only had 2 points, but coming out of the second half is really the defensive impact where you felt Amanda Baumgart. She was kind of handling the defense out on the perimeter. You kind of let O'Neal and Young handle the inside paint work, let them do the dirty work on defense, but Amanda Baumgart was right there. We said there have not been many three-pointers scored and not many attempted, and a lot of that is due to Amanda Baumgart's perimeter defense that she has shown for Eastern Florida State.
Being a 6-footer who can move is dangerous, especially in the basketball world, and especially with the other perimeter defenders that they have from their guard positions. I mean, Tamara Elliott, Nia Santiago, just so many talented players that help out with that, and it brings together beautifully, and that's why Eastern Florida State has such a good record.
Well, in Eastern Florida State and head coach MJ Baker have focused a lot on the little things. That's why you see them being 4th in the conference in rebounds. That's why you see them go up for the second chances. You see them make the easy layups that they go. When you do the little things right, it makes the harder things to do a lot easier.
And Zania Jackson had 7 points in the first half. That double team has been working. It just forced another turnover. Zania Jackson averages 8.5 points per game in 20.5 minutes. Santiago, nice look on the pull-up, just short. Mia Lake pulls down the board, 3-on-2. The other way, nice find. Nikki Stanich inside. She's had some 3 balls tonight and now inside in the lane.
And that's a great play drawn up there by head coach Deneen Davison for St. Petersburg on the transition offense, getting a little bit of a fast break there and finding the underneath. That was really well done by St. Petersburg.
And just too easy for O'Neal off of the assist from Santiago. Jalea O'Neal has been making things happen all night, especially on the interior with her scoring. A lot of drives to the rack, and it's been impossible for St. Petersburg to find a way to stop her.
Seems like whenever Eastern Florida needs an answer, Jalea O'Neal is right there to get it.
Jackson out to the corner. Izaria Adams pulled it down and is now pushing. No. Now it's Heaven Sanders, 57-33. 24-point lead for the Eastern Florida State College Titans. They've really broken it open since that St. Petersburg run in the third quarter where they got it down to 9. There's a defensive foul on Eastern Florida State.
Well,
substitution immediately follows. You see Karen Nimmo and Sylvia Octahogwa come in the game for Eastern Florida State. Sanders on the inbound to Stanich. Another corner 3. This time it works. Heaven Sanders.
And there's a lot to like here from this game from Denisha Davidson. It does look like Eastern Florida State College is going to close this one out, but there is a lot to like here from St. Petersburg College. Again, 0-13, 0-5 on the year, but this has probably been one of their best games played all year long, Richard. They've really hung well with Eastern Florida State College, one of the better teams in the Citrus Conference. They're looking to win it again. They got to get behind or past Florida Southwestern, who is 4-0 in conference play this year. But again, just a really good performance from St. Petersburg here tonight. Not a lot of people expected them to be in this game going on the road against a ranked opponent. It can be tough in college, but these girls have really fought well here tonight, and it's been a good matchup.
They have, and like you said, Eastern Florida State now being ranked number 23 in the nation. A huge congratulations to this team for that, by the way. Incredible accomplishment to be ranked in the polls, but St. Petersburg, they'll have a lot of good things to look at when they head back about 3 hours to the other coast, as Mia Lake, who had 21 points in her first game of the season, drills a 3 from the corner.
Well, and hang on a second. If St. Petersburg can go on a run here, and they are cashing in some of these deep bank shots.
EFSC will want to take a lot of time off the clock unless Nia Santiago has that wide open of a lane to capitalize on, and she makes it 60-39.
Well, that is what you got to have to do if you're Eastern Florida State College. St. Petersburg is doing a nice job of answering late. You got to keep the momentum smothered.
And Stanich drives right past Nimmo. Octahogwa made contact with the ball, but also the arm of Stanich, says the referee. That was her third personal foul, second team foul of the quarter. Now it's 2 free throws for Nikki Stanich. Could not get the first one.
And what a coaching matchup we have seen here tonight. 2 very good defensive schemes between head coach MJ Baker and Denisha Davidson. In fact, both were former players in college. We know about MJ Baker and her legacy that she left at Florida Southwestern. What a shot.
Karen Nimmo. She had a lot of threes against Hillsborough Community College. showing that interior play.
But we know about the legacy MJ Baker has at Florida's, the University of West Florida. All-American there, leads the record for rebounds and blocks in a season and career. But how about Denisha Davidson? She played at Kennesaw State where she scored over 1,000 points. She was a two-time All-American. She averaged 20 points per game and 10 rebounds per game at the Division I level. So getting that experience from both of these coaches makes it a lot easier to translate. And these girls are just getting such great basketball knowledge dropped on them, just like we kind of are at the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting with our teachers. We have like Mike Stinton, Eric Rutledge, Rishi Bear, and Christine Wynn. They really teach you how to do it all over there at Full Sail University.
They really do, and just like us with broadcasting, same mentality to all of these players who are trying to grow in their craft each and every day. Little score update, 62-39 with 3 minutes and 49 seconds left to play. In the fourth quarter, wide open miscommunication from St. Pete on the interior. Octahogwa, who averages 4.5 points a game, was left wide open next to the square.
And man, if she can get shots like that easy, she could be a lot of points scored there. Oh,
Santiago with a steal. Mia Lake says Uno reverse card. Miss from the mid-range. And Santiago's pass was a little bit too far ahead of Karen Nimmo on the fast break. St. Pete will retrieve it back after a media timeout. We are, maybe not media, but a timeout anyways. 3 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. Eastern Florida State College Titans up by 64-39 in front of the St. Petersburg College Titans. 3.5 minutes left. My name is Richard Duma, here with my broadcast partner James Irvin. Be sure to tune in to the rest of it. We'll be back in a few seconds. Welcome back to the Eastern Florida State College YouTube channel and this women's basketball broadcast where your Titans are up big against St. Petersburg College. Also the Titans, it is 64-39 if you are just joining us right now. This clock continues to tick. Eastern Florida State looking to go 4-1 in conference play with a win. It would advance them to 11-2 on the regular season. The St. Petersburg College Titans are searching for their first win of the season. Mia Lake, Jackson, nice pass outside, too far.
What a fantastic find there from Zaya Jackson. Hits her at the top of the key, and bit of a collision there, but that's fantastic find underneath, just showing a bit of the ball vision that she has and why she is so important to the St. Petersburg College team. You can see why she didn't play a minute, because when she gets the ball underneath, the offense starts to run through her. She can set those shots up behind her at the net. She can find girls in the corner at the top of the court. Just a lot of good stuff to like there from Zania Jackson.
She has been incredible for St. Pete tonight. A defensive anchor inside, but that time Octahogwa with 2 points.
Yeah, and Claudia Piero Jimenez from Madrid, Spain. She won the Spanish championship in high school, and she is fantastically right there with a fantastic pass.
Winning a championship for your entire country has got to be a surreal feeling. Congratulations to have that under your resume and belt. Santiago tried to get a pass to Octahogwa, but good defense forcing a turnover. 2:25 remaining to go in this fourth quarter. EFSC still rocking with that press. Santiago makes it work. She has her fair share of steals tonight. Takes it all the way herself. And she'll like that decision.
Yeah, Nia Santiago, how about this? She scored her first points in her career at Virginia Tech.
She is a transfer from Long Island University, played a game in Virginia Tech, who were hosting Long Island University, got a bucket in that game. Also an incredible accomplishment, scoring on a Division I basketball court in a real game. I don't think I would ever stop bragging about that one.
You couldn't stop me from bragging about it, let me tell you, Richard.
And I would not blame you one bit. Selena Farine makes the first free throw for St. Petersburg College. Second one off to Octahogua. Baumgart now, way to break the press. Karen Nimmo, wide open. Off to Santiago, perfect position, perfect assist to Octahogua. That is half-second or less decision-making right there.
And, you know, that's how much time you really have to process some of these moves, the way these defenses transition so quickly and can switch looks like that. You can switch from a 2-3, a 3-2 like that, this half-second decision-making. And that's what separates some of the best players, is how quickly and indecisive you can't be. So you got to make those quick decisions and be confident in the decision that you're making.
And there's miscommunication, over on that side from St. Petersburg. Pass from Mia Lake just went errant. I think she expected one of her teammates to be in a different position. What a pass from Octahogua to Karen Nimmo behind her head. Sheesh.
We are getting freaky out here on the basketball court. These players are doing a lot of things, a lot of really cool things on the floor here, showing off a little bit. Get you some, Nimmo.
And there's Karen Nimmo in a 32-point game, make it 34 from the elbow.
Karen Nimmo, man, what a shooter she is. With a shot like that, smooth like butter, goes in, man.
Beautiful left-handed shot, especially when it comes from that side, too. It's just up and straight and through. I don't even think it hit the net. But out of bounds for St. Pete. That is a turnover, 74-40. For the Eastern Florida State College Titans. What a second quarter and what a fourth quarter from the home team at Titan Fieldhouse. They will extend their home winning streak to 38 straight games, assuming that this result holds with 48 seconds left. Baumgart up ahead to Octahogua. Layup off the bottom of the rim. St. Pete. Another possession stolen by Karen Nimmo the other way. A couple of bounces off the front iron and out, but Karen Nimmo will head to the free throw line as the clock is stopped with about 38 seconds to go. Or 30, that is a 0, not an 8.
Well, Richard, you were kind of talking about a little bit how that third quarter might have been the best quarter played from St. Petersburg College all year. They had 15 points going into that third quarter, ended it with about 30 points or so. And it really was. They answered really well in that third quarter. They made nice adjustments to the backcourt press defense they were seeing, the defense that they saw. There was a lot to like in that third quarter from Deneen Davidson, the head coach over there at St. Petersburg. And that's what you want to see like this. Each new game is a new building block, something new to work on, something good you like to see. And there are a lot of positives that St. Petersburg can take out of this loss.
Absolutely, and you're just trying to build a program. So every little victory, even inside of games that are losses, you will take because you build on the good things that you see. You add more good things onto each practice and every game that you play. And the next thing you know, you're on the right side of the scoreboard. So I think the mentality for St. Petersburg should be, hey, we came on the road. We played a ranked team. This is a tough opponent. We gave them fits way more than the scoreboard showed. We can go back home, review some of this film, and see what we can do better for next time out.
And exactly right, Richard. Even though the final score was 75-40 in favor of Eastern Florida State, St. Petersburg gave them much tougher of a game than it shows. They were very physical on the defensive side of things, and it made it hard to score underneath for Eastern Florida State. They ended up MJ Baker and the Titans did end up making their adjustments. They opened things up a little bit. But again, how about the perimeter defense from St. Petersburg? This team leads the Citrus Conference in three-point percentage, and not very many three-points attempted tonight or made for either team. It was a lot of inside the paint scoring, and so you got to give credit to St. Petersburg College defense. You saw that was probably their game plan going in, is looking to stop them on the outside, force them to go inside, use their size matchup. Just July O'Neal, what a game she played.
Jalee O'Neal was incredible. I mean, offensively, she was driving to the rack, and it seemed like there was nothing they could do about it for St. Pete. I mean, they would repeatedly send multiple bodies into the paint every time Jalee O'Neal wanted to get in there, and there was just nothing they could do regardless. Incredible scoring from her. Also defensively, what a game plan by MJ Baker. Jalee O'Neal was a huge part of that, but also the double teams and the rotations that they sent at Zania Jackson, and even the rotations after that whenever she would be forced to A, make a pass, or B, whether the double would just work immediately and it would force a turnover. Just an incredible showing on both sides of the ball, and you have to credit both O'Neal and MJ Baker coming together, player-coach relationship to communicate and make these things happen.
Absolutely right. And how about MJ Baker, the fourth quarter adjustment that she made? It was a really, really well played third quarter here, and the momentum was getting back on St. Petersburg's side as they had cut that lead down to 10, even almost single digits at one point, Richard. But that fourth quarter adjustment they made, Eastern Florida State College really locked back in. They shut this game down. They started playing their game more. They press court defense started working in their favor again. They were getting the steals that we're used to seeing, and they were making the easy shots that St. Petersburg was giving them. They weren't making them on the outside necessarily, but that opened things up underneath for July O'Neal. I mean, it's hard to stop her anyways. No matter how many people you have on her, she is going to make some of these tough shots. So all around, great team win for Eastern Florida State College, and great job to St. Petersburg College as well. On the road, tough opponent. The season hasn't gone your way necessarily, but you showed a lot of fight here, and I think that you can use this game right here to be a building block to turn this season around.
Yes, you can. And as for the Eastern Florida State College, they're feeling incredible right now. They just came off their home court, won by 35 points, and now they'll head into the rest of conference play with an incredible feeling. I mean, you're 11-2 right now, 4-1 in the conference, ranked at number 23 in the nation, and that number should only continue to climb or fall. I don't know which word you really want to use here, but continue to get closer to 1, right, with each win that they get. So you want to just keep moving, keep going with your game plan, keep feeding all of your players that want to get touches and score the ball depending on who you play, and because every team you go against is different. They're going to have a different game plan, a different style of play, and chances are you're going to be relying on a different player every night to get your production.
Absolutely, and I think that's what head coach MJ Baker and the squad show tonight and throughout these games they've played this season is they can beat you in multiple different ways, and that is what great teams do that separate them from good teams. Good teams, they have a way they can win. They stick to that game plan, and they get wins. Great teams, when things go wrong, their game plan isn't working, they are able to make the adjustment and still find ways to come out on top. Head coach MJ Baker knows how to do that. Eastern Florida State College makes the necessary adjustments they need to, and there is a lot of different ways that this team can beat you. Expect them to make another deep tournament run here this season, especially when they are sitting in second in the Citrus Conference.
Well, what a game. I'd like to thank everybody on the Eastern Florida State College YouTube channel for tuning in. We'd like to give one last final thank you to the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, our program director, Gus Ramsey, our vocal training 2 professor, Christine Wynn, and Eastern Florida State College for providing us the opportunity to come on here and call the game tonight. It's an incredible opportunity to be able to have some fun, hone our skills, and provide a service to everybody who wants to watch this game in general. A 75-40 victory for your Eastern Florida State College Titans against the St. Petersburg College Titans. EFSC is now 11-2 on the season, 4-1 in conference play. From my broadcast partner, James Irvin, I'm Richard Duma. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you